Hi, I'm Jimmy, one of SI's product specialists. We're going to have a look at the cheese make sheet application. So the cheese make sheet application is set up where you can set up production batches for each make process. So each production batch relates to the make of cheese in a particular vat. So you can see here we've got a number of production batches available for this particular date. And you can see on the main screen here, you can see you can operate with more than one at any given time. So you might have one screen that is managing the cheese make process in multiple vats. When you set up the products and the types of checks that you're going to be doing during the make process, they can be different for different products. So you can have different types of checks. So if we just have a look at this example. So this is an example for making mature white cheddar. If I tap on the screen and we go into this particular batch, you can see that this particular make has multiple processes that we go through, and those are configured differently for different products. So all I do is I say I need to make a certain amount of mature white cheddar and create a batch that requires that, and automatically it loads this onto the recipe screen for the cheese make process with all the relevant processes that I need to go through in order to make that particular product. So you can see the first part of the process is an FDV test 72.7 degrees C. These are the questions relating to that stage in the process. So the first question I've got is a milk silo. So in this example, I can choose which silo it is. It could be that this is a numeric value, but it could be that I'm selecting from a list. And then you can see I can also choose the milk to vat volume. Now, it might be that the milk to vat volume is not something that you're entering. It could be that we take the PLC from the flow meter, in which case that will come through automatically. So you could say, are we taking the milk from a second silo? Now, if I say yes, I'll be prompted for which silo it's coming from. If I say no, it's going to take me on to the next part of the question. So in this case, it's taken 1,000 litres from silo number 2. I can then choose the milk to vat time. Again, this information can be collected from PLC controls. But in this example, I've got time selector here, which defaults to the current time. So then I've got another question, which is, does the milk smell okay? Now, if I was to say yes, that's going to tell me that that's absolutely fine. But if I said no, it might be that that's raised as a non-conformance. So you can see now we've got a little exclamation mark showing me that there is a problem potentially with this. Now, a non-conformance can be something that would stop the process altogether and not let you continue. Or it might be something that lets you continue. It's just a warning, but at least you've been able to record that. And then we could be recording a particular batch number from the silo. And then because I've now completed this stage, it now lets me move on to the next stage. In this example, the milk not smelling okay has been deemed as not a catastrophic check, although perhaps it would be. But this then takes me on to the next stage in the process. Now, the other thing that you can do, so this is asking me for Phlorophysus samples, if I can pronounce that correctly. It's asking me for the supplier, first of all. So I can select a supplier. So in this example, I've got a selection that I can choose from. So it's not free text in this one. But it might be that what I can do is, it might be that I want to actually record a note against this particular check. In which case you can just tap on it and highlight it. I need to choose a supplier, first of all. Tap on it and highlight it. And I can record free text. So it might be that I want to just record some sort of number here, or it might be that I want to put a comment. And it records the comment and it shows that there is a comment against this particular stage in the process. I can also record notes against the entire job. So these are notes that are recorded against the entire job. So I can just put anything I like in here. And it shows me that we've got a note against that particular job. So at any point I can go back to my main screen and I can see that which stage we're at currently in making the process. So we're currently at this stage. We can see that there was a problem that was recorded, and we can see that there has been notes that have been recorded. And I can go on to the next job if I want to, which could be that I'm making cheese in another vat, and it might be that it's a different product at this stage. But what this does is this allows you to record the entire make conditions, like the type of salt that you're using, the temperatures, any of the environmental factors that could have a direct impact in the way that the cheese is then going to process or age later on. So within the SI system, we also have a facility to grade cheese. So it could be that you've produced the mature white cheddar, you've recorded all of the blocks as they come through the process, you've labelled them through the SI OCM system, and you've taken a sample away. And during that process, you're going to then grade the sample. So it's going to become from mild to mature to vintage, for example. And what we can do within the system, we can analyse the grade profile against the make conditions. So we can see that if we leave it for a certain amount of time a bit longer, or if we add a little bit more salt, or the temperature's just at a certain level, then we get a better grade profile. So it allows us to continually monitor the cheese make process and improve the make process in order to get a better cheese grade profile.